Hey, what's going on, my peeps? Hey, welcome back to Strok'en with Pipes. Today we're going to get into our in this video part 2. We're going to get into our part 2 of GSPro version 2.2.2. I just released a video a couple days ago where I went through the GSPro, the settings, the practice with the range, also practice with on-course practice, and today with part 2 of the video. In the last video, I kind of went through the driving range, I went through the skill sets, I went through some of the settings up there. And today for part 2 of this video with GSPro, which is one of the premier simulator softwares that's going around right now that works with a number of different launch monitors. I use a SkyTrack, so I'll be talking about that, and people can see how well it works with a SkyTrack. And today we're going to kind of go through, on this video, we're going to talk about local match. So in this video, I'm going to be going through setting up a local match, doing a local match. There's a course I got coming up that I have to play because of one of my online simulator tours. So today we're going to do a 3 holes. I'm going to do probably from like the par 3 tees on that course, picking out 3 holes, just to kind of give you a good feel of all the different features that you have on local match. To talk about the tiles, talk about the lighting, talk about the replay, the camera settings, etc. So that'll be what I'll go through in this video. So part 2, we're going to talk about local play in GSPro version 2.0. Again, hey, I appreciate you guys for watching. Hey, if you like my videos, please give me a like, give me a thumbs up, hit that bell so you get notified when I release other videos, and also leave a comment. So I know that people enjoy these videos, and I'll start to do more. And by the way, also subscribe. Hey, subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I kind of do this stuff because I enjoy it, and also to kind of help out other fellow simulator players and golfers out there. Again, thanks again, Strok'en with Pipes. So we're going to get right into this video. That little sound you hear, that's the sound from the GSPro. Now when you go in on this main screen, it has a little sound. Basically, to turn that sound off, you use the minus key. My little shortcut keyboard is actually control minus. But on a lot, shift minus, I'm sorry. But on other keyboards, it might just be just your minus key. All right. So I kind of turn the sound down so I don't have to yell over it so much. I already yell. But we're going to jump right in. Local play. So local match is, hey, you're just here. You're in your simulator room. You want to play a course. You want to play by yourself. Maybe you got some buddies over. You guys just want to play local. You don't want to go online or anything. You just want to do a local match. Or you want to practice. You're going to practice a little bit. Maybe a course that you're going to play in one of the online tournaments. Or a course that might be on the on GSPro that is a real course that you might be getting ready to go play. Might be a course that's out of town or somewhere that you're about to travel, and you just happen to get lucky that it's actually one of the courses on the game, and you just want to check it out, get a feel for it before you go play it live. All right. So today we're just going to do a local match, and I'm going to go through a lot of the features in regards to a local match and what you can do, and try to give you guys a little bit update on that. So first thing we kind of go after, and I'm assuming you're already into GSPro, you know how to get in and stuff like that. Again, I use a SkyTrack, so you know there's a couple of things to do to kind of get in. But there's other videos out there, there's other support out there in regards to doing all that. So I'm not gonna talk so much about that part in this video. But hey, leave me a comment if that's something that you need, something you need to know about. Leave me a comment. I'll definitely respond and hook you up with where you can find some of that info. All right. So we'll go local match. So we got local match. The first thing you're gonna do is you want to basically pick what course you want to play. The course screen here, which is actually really cool. They've changed a number of different things. It looked like it remembers the setting that I had before when I went in here. Right up here at the top here, you can search. You can wildcard search for different courses. You can sort the courses by a number of different things, being the newest, by name, oldest, location, designer, availability, and favorites, etc. So you can sort that because one of the things you can do now is you can actually favor a course. So you can set the favorite, which is the little star, and then you can kind of sort it by that feature once you've done it. All right. Another thing is the view. So with the course view, I'll take off this little filter here so you can see more courses. These are all the courses that's in my little database or downloaded. I won't say data, that I downloaded to my hard drive. I download all the courses that you'll know from my part 1 of my video. I have them all here available for me to play. If there is a course in here that I have not downloaded, where you see the word play course, it will say download course, or download the course, and then you can download it to your hard drive. Once you download it to your hard drive, the course is sitting in a folder that you have based on where you have in your settings. That feature is also talked about in a prior video. So that course then is downloaded. So then when you pick the course, it still does have to load up into cache and memory for the game to utilize. But you can at least have them already downloaded on your hard drive. You don't have to go through the process of waiting to pick up the course off of a server, internet server that's serving up the courses, right? Within here, again, you can search, you can sort, you can change the view from a grid view or a list view to a grid view. The grid view is actually pretty cool. You just see a little little quick picture based on the course, along with the name. You also get the favorite button where you can actually favorite a course and put the star next to it. Go back to the list view. On the list view, you get a couple more options next to the course. One of them being is you can see what version the course is, the date that it was uploaded to the server, the designer name, the location of the course. If it's a real course, this is the location. And within the location, it utilizes, because in the game when you play a course, you can say to utilize the longitude, latitude, and altitude of the course for where it really lives at or really is. So, you know, an example being you can play a course that's in Las Vegas, and it will use the altitude of Vegas, which gives you, you know, a lot more distance, etc., with your shots. The other thing, the different versions, because they do put out fixed, you know, versions and make changes and updates, so you can see what version of that course is. For instance, the Bucks Run Golf Club down here is on version 2. You also have the trash can. So if you want to delete a course from your local hard drive, you can do that by hitting the delete. Next to that is a clipboard. So the clipboard that will then give you all of the scorecards from when you've played this course before. So you can see all of your previous scores. And even if you just started and played a couple holes, you get to see that with the clipboard. You know, so you can go back and see, okay, last time I played this course, how did I do? And then the next one is the star, where you can now label this course as a favorite if you really like it. Favorite course, then just, you can get to it quicker. You can just start to build a little bit of database of courses that you really like to play. When you do that too, you can then filter down this list to show only your favorites by using off of the top menu bar. You can just click the star and then it'll change it and just show you only the courses that you have favorite. And this is just quick feature for finding a course you want to play, etc. That's it. And then the next thing over there, you got the show all courses. That basically been showing all the courses that's on the internet server. And again, it will tell you if you have the course downloaded or not already, and then you can also download it right from here if it's not downloaded, and take that time. And that's really it on that. So on the courses, so picking a course. So what I'm going to do with this video is the course I'm going to pick is the course that I'm going to be playing in one of my online tournaments. So I'm going to use it just to kind of play around and show a couple holes. So that course is in my favorite, and it is called the Boston. It's called Boston. So I don't have a favorite yet, so I got to uncheck the favorite. The reason it wasn't showing up because I was favorite. So since I really haven't played it yet, I don't know if I want to make it a favorite for me. But so here's the course, Boston Golf Club. We can see the designer, TechBud. The designer are really good because that's something where you can kind of remember, right? There's a nice community of guys that's actually building these courses. And if there's a course that somebody has built that you like, you might want to note that designer, because you can then see what other courses he has out there that he's built. So they can then start to build a little following. TechBud is one I see. And he's pretty active on Discord, which I also mentioned in my prior video. So Discord is basically a gamer's social media platform. So for gamers on social media and being able to communicate and talk with other gamers and stuff like that, and also play games, live games and things like that within GSPro and play against other people. Discord is a good place that all that stuff can be organized. You can communicate, you can play with video, you can play with audio, you can see them swing, they can see you swing, similar to the setup I have right here. So if I'm playing against somebody online, they can be seeing me, they can see when I hit the ball and stuff like that. So there's other videos out there about with Discord and all the other features that come with that, and you can always find a lot of those designers out there talking and communicating. So this is the course that we're going to go through on this video. So I'm going to pick that course based on like all the other features and stuff, and you got the settings up here, which I talked about before. So we're going to go and we're going to pick play course. Now after you pick play course, you kind of come through, and now you got a couple other things you could do. Not only picking the players, like I said, if you're playing against some friends locally, you'll see them, and those players, or you can add them. I believe in version 2.0, you can have up to 100 players on your game. So right here, I got the 6 guys or 5 guys or so that have played over here in my environment. You can do that, and for each player, if there's a new player that's coming by to talk and you can actually add them right from here. You can also jump and invite players. The invite players is jump where if you want to play an online game, you can actually jump right from here and invite people with online game. I'll do another video on online game later, but I'm not going to jump into that, but that's another really cool feature, and then how that kind of works. But just to make this video short, and also to kind of get through it, we're just going to talk about local match. So for each player across, you're going to see you set their tees, or the tees that they like to play within that with the game. You can do that right here. In this case, I'm just going to go with like the little par 3. So what it allows you to do is you can take any course that you pick that's in your library, and you can just play that course as a par 3 course, which is really cool, especially with just seeing the course or getting a feel So basically taking out your tee shots and just giving you a little short for every hole, all 18 holes. The other thing is you can pick what color you are, your team, or when you're playing. So mine is red. You just click on the color, and then these are the options. You know, change it to where, and that comes into play because that'll show you your ball when you're playing on the mini map. That color would be indicated for you on the mini map and show you where your ball is. So as you're playing through the game. So I'm changing that to green. No, I'll make it. We'll make it yellow, right? So within the mini map, you'll be able to see that's what my color, and that will indicate where my ball is. I'm going to do the part 3. So next one is the match setting. So within here, for this round, we can determine like what is the play that we're going to do. We got gameplay being stroke play, stable forward, best ball, alternate shot, match play, scramble. So those are all the possibilities that you can play, which comes into play whether you're playing with local. So if you got buddies over, you guys can play a scramble, you can play a stable forward, you can play a better ball, and the same thing with online gaming too. Then it also picks the tee box, right? Or the tees you want to play. Now I indicated on the player setting the part 3, but you can actually control here too for the entire game which tees to utilize. I'm going to keep it there, but you got the same options. We go through there. You also get the pin placement. So pin placement being kind of similar to what the PGA does. So every course will have 4 pin placements. There'll be a Friday, there'll be a Saturday, no, there'll be a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday, and Sunday. And based on that, Saturday and Sunday might be harder than Thursday, Friday in regards to where the pin is on the green. All right, so we'll just keep it here with Friday for our pin. The gimme auto putt. Basically, the gimme auto putt gives you a circle around the pin. We're gonna use it right there. It's at 10, so we'll keep that at 10. At 10 feet, and that basically saying if your ball get within that circle, then the next shot is a gimme counted. A lot of the tournaments in play, you can pick and choose that. You got as many different options as you want, up to 18, 20 auto putt fix, auto putt random. Basically means once you get on the green, it will determine whether it's a 2 putt or 3 putt based on how far you're away. And random being, it will just give a random selection on that. You can also have it where it pick the putt. So once you get on the green, you get a message on the screen that asks you, okay, do you want to putt this, or do you just want to use the gimme on this, right? Most of the online stuff might use 6 to or 5 or so. With this, I'm just going to put it at 10. The other one is the elevation. The elevation being what I was talking about, like altitude and stuff. So this course, the elevation on this course is 141 feet. We're going to use that. So you can actually play the course as if you right there local based on what that environment is. So we'll keep it set for that. You have options up in there too with global based, and that'll be based on what you have in your settings or the course. The stimp is basically the green. How fast is the green going to play? Stimp being, you know, how fast the green is going to play, so it affects your putting and how fast your putts are going to be. 10 is default, but you can adjust and change this. You know, sometimes you can maybe, if you're just playing, you can maybe match this up maybe to what your home environment is with your putting. So I'll just keep it at 10. But that's one of the things I'll mention too, the note. So I have a SkyTrack, and what I noticed within GSPro, when I'm putting in my environment, so basically from my hitting area to my screen, I have about 8.5 feet. So 8.5 feet, but I have to adjust with the putting based on the distance, right? So all of my putts, I pretty much have to slash in half what GSPro is saying. And that's just because of my environment and maybe the speed that my putting area kind of runs. It gives me a good. So if I'm on the green and my putt say is 16 feet to the hole, I'll try to hit that about 8 on my putting area, and that'll get it right there to the green. So that's one of the little offsets that I do for my environment, especially based on if the stimp meter is around 10 or 11. I'm basically half of what the game may say with putting. So you'll get to see a little bit of that. The other one is on the putting too. You also have where the putting is normal, hard, or easy. That again will affect how the ball rolls and how easy it is to putt or jumping off line based on how you hit it. The other option you have is mulligan. So mulligan being if you want to turn on mulligan. So if you're playing around and throughout the round you want to just take a mulligan, you gotta have this set to yes. If you want to play it straight up and not worry about mulligans and deal with everything, then you go to no. This particular online tournament I'm playing, they play at mulligans with yes, and you can only take 2. But that's only because of all the different launch monitors and systems. There's occasionally somebody just hit a shot that is just not right. And that kind of gives you the ability to kind of wipe that out and redo it. With that, the next part is gameplay and player setting. So that's been gameplay, player setting. That's going to be based on that player. When you go back to the player tab and how it's set, the other one is realistic, force realistic. That's basically it's trying to force and make it more realistic within the game and how it kind of plays, taking into consideration other things in regards to lie, angle, and stuff like that. And when you're hitting, so it's kind of forcing to make it more realistic. Fairway firmness, again, that's kind of whether the fairways will be firm. You got hard, link style, or soft, normal. So I kind of like firm. The green firmness, again, you got the same little options. I kind of like mine with the soft, but you got normal, soft, firm, hard, link style. Soft just kind of gives you a little bit when you make approach shots that they kind of boom, boom, stop, or get a little more coming back. If they're fast, then you really got to have the spin on the ball and stuff like that. You also have the option with the wind. So GSPro does take this stuff in consideration. They added this, so the wind being breezy, gusty, no wind at all, calm, breezy bend, you gotta play the wind. If it's breezy, that wind may be coming in your face, so that affects your shot. You may be downwind, it might be a crosswind. You gotta basically take all that stuff in consideration. All right. The next one is concede score. That's basically within the game. Let's say you just mess around and you just want to concede that hole and move on. This which tells you what you want that score to be when you concede. That being log 10 for that if I concede it, 11, 12, but you can say log a double bogey, log a triple bogey, or quad. Triple be good. So that's really if within the game you're just going to concede that hole and kind of just move on when you're doing a live or a real gameplay. Putting assist, that's just basically if it's going to assist with putting when you're on the green and you're moving the slider or you're moving the arrows left and right, whether you can kind of see where it kind of gives you a little help in regards to the green and how it may be breaking. Also with the break line, when you're on the green, it shows a little pole, a little red white pole. That's what those two things kind of represent. The next one is the handicap. So if you're playing around and you want handicap to be indicated, this will then show when you look at the scorecard, it'll show you gross and net based on the handicap. And you also have handicap when you're setting up a player. One of the options you have for that player is what that player handicap is. And what's one of the cool things that we'll do in another video when we talk about online play is online play, they kind of capture, you can actually build up a handicap on your sim. So you can actually have a sim handicap, and they utilize that for some of the play where they can go off of, instead of gross, it might be net scoring, and stuff like that. And then the resume previous is, that's available when, if I played this course before and I haven't finished it, I can come in here and say resume, and then it'll allow me to continue on from where I left off. So let's say you're playing it, you only got through 4 holes, you want to come back and finish, you can do that. You'll only see that resume previous if it's a course that you have started around and didn't finish, right? So that's why I had that option there. The next thing on on this is with local play is the holes. So within local play, when you're getting ready to play around, you can pick which holes you want to play. You don't have to play all 18. So you can play 9, front 9, you can play the back 9, or you can randomly pick which holes you're going to play. So for this example, since I'm kind of just messing around, and I'm doing everything really as a part 3, I'm only going to pick a couple holes. I'm not going to do all 18. I'm going to do 3 holes just to give some other features that I want to talk about. So I'm just going to randomly kind of pick a couple here, some showing where we get some chips, and then 14. So we'll do 2, 5, 14. So I'm just going to say 2, 5, 14. So these will be the only holes that we'll be playing, where after this, the round will be over. So you can actually pick and choose. You can say, all right, I'm just going to do the front 9, I'm going to do the back, or I'm going to just pick which holes I want to play, or I can say one hole. I'm just going to play this one hole and kind of go with it. Again, you kind of get there. We got the option now. We're going to go ahead and we're going to say play Boston Golf Club. Now, while it's doing that, this is another good time to remind you guys to, hey, hit that bell. Hit that bell. You know, leave me a comment. Subscribe to the channel. You want to see other videos, we'll definitely be able to do that. And then don't forget to leave me a comment. All right, leave me a comment, and I'll continue to make these videos and make some more just like it, talking about different features. All right, so now the reason I'm doing this video is on the online play, but now I can actually give you guys and talk about the game, right? Talk about GSPro and why it's becoming so popular and so much fun, especially as we start to get into our winter season, which is when this thing really takes off with a lot of people playing throughout the winter months. It makes winter go a lot quicker, especially if you're in the Midwest like I am. We're playing the game. So before I go ahead and start playing this course or whatever, talk about some of the features you kind of see with here. So right away with this is ready now, you're basically ready to hit. So I'll kind of you got a couple things here to talk about, and first is being up in the left side, you'll see all the players that you have in the game. So if you had 3 or 4 people, you'll see all their names right here. The top one would be the player that's playing, who's up to hit. When there's multiple people, you can switch and pick somebody else to hit. Let's say somebody got to go to the bathroom, or somebody want to go for a smoke break, or whatever. You can just click on the next name, and that's who will be the person to hit. So you don't have to sit around and wait for that person to hit who's maybe up. They stepped away or something, you can boom, just click the next person's name, and then they'll jump up, and that other person, when he's back or whatever, be able to go ahead and hit. So it tells you what shot you're on, the distance to the flag, and then it also tells you the elevation changes. So this right here, 161 yards, that's 6.6 yards uphill. I also get that right in the center here where I have this turned on. I'll talk about that. That's a setting also within the game that show you pin location and distance. So that's 161 yards, 7 yards uphill. You can also see up here, you can see since we have a wind and breezy, it's actually 5 to 6, 5 and it's changing, 7 miles per hour. And this indicates the direction of the wind. So this wind look like it's coming at us a little bit at 7 miles per hour and changing. You also got the course that you're playing. So that's the Boston Club. It shows next to that, you got the hole. You got, it's a part 3 and that's, we pick all part 3 as our tee boxes. So that's what that is. And then we'll talk the tiles. So the tiles are your club and ball data that you want to be displayed while you're playing. This can change and vary based on what you want to see and also what your launch monitor is capable of. SkyTrack is not capable of all of the different options. To see those options when you're in the game, all you got to do is just put your mouse over them and just click on one of them. And then these are all of the tiles that's available that you can display. When you're in gameplay, whether it be local game or online game, you're limited to, right now, you're limited to 6. So you can pick and choose which 6 you want. Here are all the options that you have. once you pick them, you can also drag and drop. You can drag and drop them to move the order and stuff. And that's it. So you got all these options based on what your launch monitor is recording or spitting out. And then you can order them, but within gameplay, you got 6 that you can put up there. I'll talk about the 6 I have and why, based on SkyTrack. So SkyTrack doesn't do club data stuff. It doesn't do face to pass. It doesn't do club speed. So I don't care about that. It doesn't do some of the club lost and stuff. It just doesn't. This particular launch monitor doesn't have those features, so I don't even worry about them. The ones I do and the ones I put up that helps me and my play, and as I'm messing around in the sim, the first one is the carry. So I go with carry, the carry in game. I also care about the total length, what the ball, and then I get the ball speed, the total spin, the virtual launch, and the horizontal launch. So those are the ones I care about, and I'll talk a little bit about them as I go, because these are like really interesting, like to me, right? Not only with carry, I can know exactly how far I'm carrying, because the length and the rollout is going to vary. I can at least see what the ball speed is, and then I can see what my spin is on those shots. The virtual launch is basically how the ball is taken off. Is it taken off at high or low or whatever? So, and then the horizontal launch is it taken off left or is it taken off right? Right being a positive number. So as we go back and look, you'll see that last shot it was a 0.6. That positive number basically means you're coming, at least for a right-handed player or any player anyway. That means you're going in to out. So that means you're going in to out if it's positive. If it's negative, that means you're cutting across it. That's a good number that anybody that deals with, they're trying to resolve a slice or they're trying to resolve a hook, you can kind of be worried about that number and try to get it more where you want it to be opposite of what you're doing. If you're a slicer, that number is going to be a negative, a lot of negatives. If you're a hooker, that number is going to be pretty high with a positive. So you just got to find the medium with that and kind of go with it, right? So when you come in here and you get that, you can then save whatever changes and making changes. I'm not going to really do any, but you can just see how it kind of goes. The next thing you got down at the bottom here, you got the mini map. So this is called the mini map. So the mini map, you got that little down arrow where you can actually minimize the mini map. You can open it up and you can see. So this is the whole layout that you're about to play, and you see that with the mini map. Again, you can kind of see where the ball is. My ball is represented by the red, and this one up here is representing the T. The green and the hole. It also shows you right here the level of your ball. This is your ball, where your ball is. So since we're on the T box, our up degrees is 0 and our right degrees is 0. But as we start playing, you'll start to see that will change. The right might be, it might be positive, might be negative. The up might be positive, negative. That just basically means what your ball lie is, which the game takes in consideration. Whether you have a downhill lie, an uphill lie, the ball is below your feet, or your shoulders are pointing down or pointing up. That's what that indicator will show you when you're playing the game. So it's not just all straight level, and you do have to take that into consideration when you're making swings and hitting. So you might have to aim a little more to the left or a little more to the right, or try to keep the ball a little further down. So that's the mini map. And then up here, the last thing before we actually start hitting some balls and kind of go through these little 3 holes is the little 4 clip right here where you can go into settings. Going in here with the settings, so now you have the tile settings, you got the settings for your game, you got lighting, you got shot options. Shot options being that once we start playing, let's say you want to re-hit a shot, or let's say you want to watch a replay of a shot, or you got the issue where you got to make a drop because you went into a water. The other one is the flyover. You got the flyover, so I can fly over for this hole, and it kind of gives you a flyover view of the hole. And you can do that, and then there's also hotkeys that you have for your keyboard to do all of that also. So right here, So we got flyover, you got the putting grid, whether you want that turned on or off. You got the show flag, you got the putt mode. If your launch monitor has the ability to handle with putt mode, which means like, do you have to indicate that you're using the putter, especially when you're on the green. That's what that is. So if you're like, for instance, SkyTrack, if you're gonna putt and use your putter and you're on the fringe or you're in the fairway, you gotta indicate that you're using putter. If not, SkyTrack is gonna be looking for the ball in a certain window and it's just gonna be a weird outcome. But if you say that if you switch your club to putter, then that will work a lot better for you. And then the other one is the shortcuts and scorecard. So shortcuts, I'm going to talk about that because there's one tab to keep in mind. Throughout the game and you're playing, one thing with GSPro is the tab key. Anytime you want to see any of these shortcuts in regards to getting to things, you hit the tab key. The tab key actually has one letter shortcuts in some cases for a lot of different things. So in this case, I'm just going to close this and I'm going to pop up on the tab key real quick here. So by just hitting the tab, here's your shortcut for the game. You got the tab to hide this again and go play. You got the F1, you got the F3, you got the escape, you got the F5, you got the T to see the scorecard, the Y to see the heat map, the U. Basically, I'm not going to go up, and then you got the L for lighting because we'll talk about that a little bit too. So that's within the game. Anytime you want to see what the hit or what a certain button would do and give you, you can hit the tab key. You know, the green grid is G. To do a flyover, flyover is O. To see the landing area, that is telling you what the landing area of your club is J. And you kind of got that. You have all that right there. Hit the tab key and you get those one shortcuts. All right. So right now we're just gonna go ahead and play these couple holes. Get through this little video and kind of give you some of the features. Man, it's really cool. The layout in regards to GSPro and different features. And you can always, within your putting, you can use your mouse to kind of point where you want to go. I'll bring this up too because this is another new feature. So you have in this case here, you have the white, and the white shows you where the flag is and the distance to the flag, and the red will show you where you're aimed at. So you can say, all right, I'm going to hook this a little bit, so you don't want to aim right at the flag. If you're going to hook it, you want to aim out to the right and let it come back. That's what the red square up there is going to show you. It's going to show you your aim spot and the distance based on where I'm going. You can also do that by clicking anywhere on the mini map to do the same thing. So you want to basically say, all right, I'm going to go a little bit off to the right, about 159 yards. We kind of go there, right? So, and those are things, if you go back into settings too, you'll kind of see where it asks you your aim indicator or your pin indicator. Those are things that's under settings in there, right? So we'll go ahead and just hit a couple shots here to get up to the green. Because a couple other things I want to show in the video. Alright, I'll go ahead and we'll play a couple holes. The 3 holes we have with this part 3. Oh, a little stiff there, and now we're worrying about the other thing that you kind of noticed too. You saw when I hit the shot how all of the settings disappeared and it just showed you the ball flying. That's also a setting. That's a setting whether you want that to do that or not, which is actually pretty cool. All right, so you can, all that stuff you can kind of control under settings. I'm not going to go through each one of them, but if you have the game and you're wondering, it is a setting that you can have to turn on and off at your leisure. The other thing, one of the things I do, a lot of people are indicating where you got the different boxes and stuff and why the club indicator. So you see that down here on the left here where it says that's sand wedge and what club. The game itself don't really need that, but if you want to go back and rewatch, at least in my case, I like to go back and rewatch and see what club did I hit, how did you hit it, etc. You want to be changing. So you want to just change it in regards to what club you're using. I also use within my system, I have software that I use. It's called Voice Attack. I utilize Voice Attack also because it allows me to you know, I don't have to jump to my keyboard. I have it set up. It's a free application that you can then do voice commands. So I have mine set up a little bit where I can do voice commands to do some of these changes with that. But I like to kind of change what club I'm using because it also comes into play that as you go back and you want to see the data for that round, if you're not changing the club, it'll all just say same club every time, right? So I like to just kind of switch it up and indicate what club I'm using, and it also just gives me a little bit more of a feel of that I'm actually outside playing. The one underneath club is whether you're right-handed or left-handed. You can kind of change that too. And then one of the other features before I kind of get through and I want to show is under settings. Once you're playing the game, if we go into settings, you can not only with the flag, to show the flag or not, you can kind of see the flag disappearing. One of the indicators in the grid map, that's going to show where if I'm on the green, you can see the grid map or not. But while we're in game 2, if I go into settings, one of the things in settings is now you got different options than you had at the initial startup of the game screen. So you have your game settings, which is basically whether you want to use metrics or imperial, whether you want to use the lock monitor carry, and that's based on your lock monitor. Not all lock monitors give you that with the carry. Some of them just calculate it or whatever. It all depends. You also have the altitude, the temperature, where the courses and stuff like that located. I went through a lot of this in part 1 of the video. And then the other one is the visual settings. So the visual settings, I kind of went through this too. This is kind of in-game play, what you want to do. I also went through this in part 1 of the video, so you can go back and look at that. But you can kind of see some of this on the aim. One of the things that I wanted to highlight on this video, 2 things actually, that I'm going to go through and I want to make sure I point out. The first one is under game, the scorecard after a hole, right? You can indicate whether you want the scorecard to pop up after you finish the hole, after you put out. And that be the scorecard come up and you can indicate how long you want it to come up. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, or whatever. I'm not going to turn it on yet because I want to show you how it offsets another feature that is really cool that I want you to see right the first time. And that is under visual settings, there's a feature that they put is whole intro beta. So this is, with these 2 check boxes, it will do, after you put out, it would do a flyover transition from that green to the next tee box. This feature, that if you're using this feature in combination with the scorecard comes up, and then you never see this in the background. So that's why it's like it's one or the other right now. Because if you want to see this feature, which is really cool, then you don't want to have the scorecard popping up and showing you the score. You can always see the score at any point by hitting the T on your keyboard. So if you want to see the scorecard at any point, you can hit the T. But in my case, I like this better than saying the scorecard. But that's right now in version 2.0. I don't know how that might transfer as they still working and maybe making some adjustments or changes. So right now, I want you guys to see this. All the other features on here I went through in part 1 of the video. So I'm not going to talk about now. I'm hoping you will go and watch it in part 1. But I wanted to point this out because this is more of a thing for when we're playing along with the camera and the follow and stuff like that. So right now we're just going to go, and then the round settings we already went through in the players, but it's the visual settings that I wanted to just touch base and kind of go. So once we finish the hole, you can kind of see that. So right now we got right hand, we got the lob wedge. So we're just going to lob wedge here and get up. Again, to see my landing area, I can hit the J button and kind of see that. I can then lose my arrow keys to kind of adjust and also see that, and I can do my G or whatever to see the green and stuff like that. The other cool thing to kind of note too is the L. So the L button brings up the lighting, so you can change the lighting in any game. And there's so much flexibility with this, with how you want the game to look for you. You got the sun strength, environment color. You can adjust all of these to make this look as nice or as pretty as you want it to look, and make it as if you're right there on the course. You have this. You also have the toggle advanced, which gives you even more options. All these different options that you can set to make the game just look really nice visually for whatever your graphics card and your computer can handle in regards to the look and feel of the course, right? So we kind of do that, so I kind of see where I'm at, hit the J to come back, and we'll go ahead and get some up there. Again, it's 34 yards, 8.2 feet uphill. Jumping around a little bit here and didn't put that where I needed to put it with the ball. And I totally hit that toe bad off to the right. Yep. Good thing you read it. So kind of give you an idea. So right now I'm saying lob wedge. I'm out there. I'm off by this tree. Again, you know, you can do your J with that. Now there's some other cool things that you can do too with the tree. And while this is a good example to kind of talk about that too while I'm here. So if I go back to the tab in the keyboard, you have the F3 and the F5 key. F5 key is really good, especially if you end up maybe behind a tree, you want to get a good look. In this case, in the mini window, you can see my ball is the red, so you can see, but if you were behind the tree and you're not able to see, you can go into the free look, which is F5, and you then get the ability to kind of do a good look up to where you're at visually. So we'll kind of indicate that right now. We'll kind of jump into F5, and you can see at the top where the course name it says free flight mode. Now utilizing your mouse and your arrow keys, your mouse and like the W, you can actually move around and kind of see exactly where you're at. If you need to see part of the environment, back up and over, and for some reason my keyboard is not acting right today. But the free flight mode kind of will give you ability within the mouse, and maybe I'll jump over with the mouse view, where you can actually kind of zoom out, zoom in, look down, and see exactly where you're at, and see if there's anything in your way or not, which is actually a really cool feature. I'm kind of messing it up right now, but that's the free flight mode. So kind of keep that in mind, that when you're maybe locked and you can't see exactly where you want to go, you can kind of jump into the free flight mode and then kind of do that. All right. So we'll come back here and we'll try to go ahead and finish up this hole after that terrible little chip. So right now I got the other thing too. You see there, it shows you with the last shot. So on the last shot, it showed you your speed and the spin. These are things you can turn on and off, but that comes into play, especially when you're in the rough or the deep rough or the heavy rough, because it does affect your ball. So semi-rough, there's a penalty, there's a shot penalty. So you're not going to get your normal distance when you're coming out of semi-rough or high rough. So you got to understand and basically adjust to all of that stuff. And this is another one down at the bottom now too. If you look at the mini map, it's telling me that I'm 3.2 degrees left, which means that the ball left, which means I think the ball is below my feet, and I'm 2 degrees up. So this will affect how the ball comes out and where it's going to go. I'm not going to change my aim. I'm just going to keep it straight. And I want to see what happens and where the ball goes. I'm trying to just hit a straight shot, and you can see how that what my lie is and how it will affect a straight ball. Right? So that wasn't too bad maybe because it was just such a short shot. And now here's the flyover. So you can now see how it does the flyover from where I was to my next tee box. Now, the reason it's taking me down here, remember when we set this up to play as a par 3 course. So all my shots are going to be like par 3 distances. So even though I'm playing an 18-hole full regulation course, you can play it as a par 3. So the flyover kind of took me all the way to my next little par 3 distance as opposed to the normal tee box. And I'm just doing that for this video. And we're just going to try to hit a couple shots to kind of get through this as I'm showing you the different features. Another one there. Hit a little chip here, and then we'll go through some of the little shot options that's down there in the left-hand corner also. Alright. I'm going to chip it, but I'm going to chip it further and not maybe get in the circle so we can putt. Maybe hopefully I'll stay on the green. Nope. Just trying to get one on the green and not get within our 10 circle so we can maybe just putt one. So this one here, we're going to come out here and go out to the right a little bit as opposed to going at the flag. Eventually we'll get there. Eventually we'll get there. Maybe. That's what happens, man, when you're doing video and not radio warmed up. All right, we won't get the putt. I got the gimme circle so big. We'll see. Maybe I'll get a chance on this hole. So now we kind of see the flyover again. Now this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and change that one setting. So instead of getting a flyover, even though that's our last hole, I'm going to go to the game options, and now I'm going to say, show me my scorecard for 5 seconds after I hole out on this hole. And you'll see now that instead of it doing a flyover, you'll see and I saved that, so I got 5 seconds. You'll see that now instead of the flyover to the next hole. So now it should show me my scorecard as I finish this hole. Using the little mini, I like to kind of use the mini map and kind of just pinpoint by clicking where I want my aim to kind of go. That's different by different people. So we'll kind of do that. I'm not really trying to get there, just trying to get out there somewhere. I was trying to hit that out to the right, but not that bad. Here's another good example, kind of being in the trees. Here's a good one, right? So I'm in the trees. You actually cannot see my red dot because it's over. The trees are kind of blocking it, right? But you can always hit the J button to kind of pick your landing area, and then you can also use the mini map to kind of point, where you want to kind of go. So knowing if I go too far to the right, I might be going right at that tree. So I'm going to kind of come out here a little bit just to kind of be safe. And chip something up there somewhere. F5 and getting the F5 is actually really cool once you kind of see it for when you're in situations like this. All right. Now we got on the green. Now we can maybe putt one. With the putter, so in gameplay, you got that. You also get the grid. So now here's the grid map that I didn't have turned on, but you turn on the grid. So now the white dots flying that indicate the break. So this one, it has a little bit of brake to the left initially, and then after the flag, it has the brake going back to the right. So since I'm up here, you got to kind of play this brake a little bit by moving this, and then this is where it was saying with the putt indicator. So that little black and the little red and black pole is the putt indicator. The lines are not moving that hard. That also indicates the speed of the brake. So it's not a huge brake or fast brake per se. So I'm going to pick right around this area. You can also go based on the speed, and you can change this by, you know, the arrow buttons and stuff like that. But I like to kind of just click on with the mouse and kind of go there. So again, I was telling you, I got 8 feet. This is a 16.3. So I really only got to go, you know, based on the weighted line, I really just got to hit this about 8 in my environment. So really at about the end of my putting track right here. So we'll see if I can kind of do that. Came up a little short, as you can see maybe from my video. I came up a little short on my putting, so it barely kind of got there. All right, and then now this is where you get the scorecard that kind of pops up. So instead of us saying that flyover, we kind of see the scorecard. Now, because I only did 3 holes, the scorecard is going to stay up longer because it thinks that I'm done playing the round. But normally this is what would pop up before you get to the next hole. All right. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This is again just the on-course play of GSPro version 2.0. It's a lot in this game. It's a lot of different features. I may have missed something here or there, but to kind of give you guys a little bit overview and touch on a number of different things, that kind of gets you there. But again, hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. This is Strok'en with Pipes using SkyTrack and GSPro version 2.0. Get out there, get in the game, man. Look me up. Let's get some rounds going. Get on Discord. This winter, we definitely can be playing. I look forward to playing with you guys. Leave me a comment. And this is part 2. Next up, we're going to do part 3. We're going to talk about some other features within GSPro. And again, thank you. All right. Hey, don't forget to hit that bell. Give me a like. Give me a like, man. Subscribe to my channel so you get notified when other videos come out. Again, until next time, look forward to part 3 of GSPro. Thank you.